Hello, all, and welcome to the 51st live multiplayer test. Although I guess we haven't done multiplayer anything for a while, but we're trying to show different features of the game as the game proceeds. Let's see, we'll get this here. There we go. So, what is the big thing today? The big thing today is the salvage system. Now, you've seen salvage poking around before, but now it runs as an automatic. The other really big announcement is the giant, monstrous pain in the tutorial that is what we're referring to now as the basics tutorial, which is really the RTS and 4X part of the game, is finally running soup to nuts. It needs some polish, but at least you can get from the very beginning to the very end, and it works, which is a major thing. Trust me. So what I really want to show is part of the thing that I did do that was more gameplay related, is the salvage. And then I'll show some other things, so I won't necessarily bore you with the entire tutorial, but I want to show you different pieces of it. So I'm going to load up... let's load up some endgame stuff, which I think is this one? Or this one. Of course, it would help if I remembered, right?
Usually does.
Yeah. So I think it's this one. Oh, now. Yep. Okay.
Building complete.
Okay, so this is towards the end of the basics tutorial, if you're wondering what the hell you're looking at. So what you're seeing here is, you've seen in previous, or not, live streams where we're showing the patrols and how that works. So one of the things it has to do is tell you how to do the patrols and stuff like that. So these guys are on the patrol. So this is kind of meant as the culmination of everything you learn throughout the rest of the tutorial. So you're supposed to build a couple turrets and some fighters, which I have here, etc. And from my experience, what I built is monstrously overkill for what comes after you. But there you go. So let's do that first, because I think that's kind of more appropriate for this anyway, since we're here already. So as soon as I click on I am ready, people will spawn in. I guess that's kind of nice. So as you can see, these ships are in a nice arc as they run around because they're on patrol, which is a patrol that I set up. And what you also see out here are previous dead carcasses from earlier parts of the tutorial. So I'm gonna zoom in and watch these guys make a nice turn. There they go. It's nicer these days. See, they light each other up. Whee! Okay. Alright. Now, the whole idea is these guys are on patrol, and we're going to have an enemy attack. That's kind of the point. I'm going to wait till they're on the safe kicks. I forgot to turn that off. Pause, and now here we go. Here we go. Defend your city. And here they go. Now, these guys are going to get their butt handed very harshly. Now, these guys haven't noticed them yet. It'll be interesting when they do. Although the builder bots have noticed them, they're running. They're going, run away! Run away, run away! Because they have an incoming. I wonder what that brightness is. They're jumping over the mountain there. Alright, I think they noticed. Oh, I think I'm going to get my city the way they're doing it. You can see what a fur was. And what's sort of amusing is this guy's toast out here. And he's just was arcing because he was going up when he died. There he goes. So even though, alright, they took out all the guys, and what's sort of funny again, this guy's arcing. He's just completely out of power. He's got, he's immobile, so he can't run his engines. And he's just gonna arc down to the ground because that's what gravity's taking him. And these guys just decided, yep, we're done. Resume patrol. Which is kind of the point. A patrol really is meant to defend your city. That's the whole thing. Now, as we look around, we see a lot of debris, if you will. Might as well walk through this. I don't have any voiceovers for all this yet. Should I just skip over all this and just load the save game where I'm actually already have the other things built?
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, sounds good.
So load. I'm very sure it's 32. And here, I'll tell him.
Orders received. Orders received.
Yeah, let's grab him.
Orders accepted.
Now, what's amusing is he grabbed this other guy and he pulled him up. That's why he's going up like that. So if I tell, this is my salvage ship. He already started to eat the other guy. He was dragging him with him. The tractor beam on the salvage ship will actually drag things around. So I'm going to tell this guy to... He already pulled some in. He's got like 14 CMs. The first and only time you can actually have CMs in the game, the one that you start with. I go salvage.
Orders accepted.
And he decided to go pick up this guy. So here he comes. These guys are still on patrol. And he's going to grab him. And he's going to eat him. Nom nom nom. Grab this guy because he happens to be within range. And he gets dissolved. And he's going to go after him. And mind you, I'm not even controlling this at this point. I mean, I can, but there's no point. I could possess this ship and do all this manually if I felt like it, that you've seen in previous games. But now I can just sort of go, okay, you know what? You go do your thing, and I'm going to go back to building ships, commanding my fleets, do anything else I need to do, and he's going to play cleanup on the battlefield. And what's even cooler about this guy is once he's done cleaning up, he will take all of his ill-gotten gain and put it back into the warehouse so that you can use it. And if you notice, your counters up here, this is for CMs, so your component materials, which are worth about 5 times as much as RMs, which are the normal money for the game. CMs. But because cargo that's inside the cargo ship, which is what a salvage ship is, as soon as he starts pulling in stuff, your counter goes up because you own that. Now we have a debate on whether or not if that resource should be distributed like what comes out of the ground is, or it's first come first serve, or it's a matter of, well, if you want to get some of the battle loot, you better make your own salvage ship or make your own arrangements otherwise. So that's a discussion that we'll probably have to end up having at one point or another. How that you can kind of hear it doing the salvage thing on its own. Should probably turn it up. It's kind of cool, actually. Let me turn it up a little. Sounds like someone was right there or something. And yes, the game's still going while I'm doing that. So what you're seeing is this guy just grabbing each one and basically eating it. And he grabs the next one, he eats that one, etc. Now, you can wait until he's done, or you can actually just grab him and tell him to drop off stuff, like right now. So if I take that and I right-click on over here...
Orders accepted.
He's going to go over here and drop off his stuff. And what's amusing is you can see that there's not much left of this guy. He's almost eaten completely. And now watch this guy drop off. Go check what's in him. Oh, he's grabbing it
Orders
rather
accepted.
than dropping it off. In auto mode, he'll just drop off. Yeah. Good. Let's have him go back to. He's dropping off over there. I am going to tell him to go salvage this one.
Orders accepted.
And then he's just going to continue where he left off. Well, I guess he's going to go over there first because he was closer. So, go up. So what do you guys think of the auto salvage at this point? Since you can do a whole bunch of other things, he'll just do his thing. At the end of it, he will automatically drop off everything to the warehouse, and then if there's another dead thing on the battlefield, he'll go salvage that. Friend or foe. So he's just sort of finishing there. You notice he sort of pushed them along with the beam. But if any more guys spawned in, the patrol would take care of that spawn. And even though the turrets, the builder bots kind of ran, you know, they were pretty much safe. They didn't need to run realistically. See how he's picking him up, quite literally. Like, you're mine. Sort of like a Darth Vader thing, sort of like, you know, picking up it's like, you're mine now, and then, you know, that's it. And then he just goes right off. Whee! Where he's going. I was gonna show him. He's still in salvage. Unless we found another. I think that's the last guy. So I just want to show him automatically dropping off since there's only one left anyway. And then he'll just go, excuse me?
So this is definitely a very good thing the game had needed to get finished.
It really did. It did not take all this time. Tutorial 2 took all this time.
Yeah.
We'll refer to as the basic tutorial. And like I said, this is towards the end of it. This actually is pretty much at the end of it. Is now just cleaning up the aftermath of the battle. You saw what the battle looked like. And it was just meant to be kind of a mock battle to show you, hey, this is kind of how it's supposed to work, etc. I mean, in a real fight, they would not be that much of a pushover unless you really built strong stuff. But then again, they would probably send things across to kind of match all that. Okay, so now that he's going back, so if you look, his orders are to transfer cargo, so he's going to drop all that stuff off. And there it goes. And he's empty. Now he's back in salvage mode, but there's nothing to salvage, so he's going to stay put. Then you could have
Orders accepted.
Anything else you want to do? Hell, you can give him his own patrol route. So I can, just from using the value.
Orders received. Orders received.
And
Orders accepted.
same patrol route as
Orders received.
the other guys. Or roughly the same patrol route. And so they'll just patrol the city. If something gets too close, the bigger things will kill it, and then the salvager will eat it. You know, that's a useful thing. And then what's, to me, the most interesting part that we actually had to write code for is we now have 1,367 CMs from that battle. Now, the reason why that's significant is there's no way in the game to get CMs. The game, when you first start, your builder bot has component materials, which makes building the buildings 5 times faster, than makes building anything else 5 times faster. But you had no way of getting them. The only way you can get them in the game is to salvage ships. And so until this was really running and it was practically used, there was no way to get these. And now I have more than I probably start the game with, just from the battle of, what is it, 5 or 10 ships over there. It was about 9, I think about that. And so yeah, so now we can use that to quickly kick out ships. We can use that for buildings. We can use that for a number of different things. And that's kind of the idea. You could use that to start a new city elsewhere. And there are nodes all over the place, and the whole idea is to go find them and build cities there, or at least to extract the ore, things of that nature. So salvage ships are one of those useful things that you really need to have with you in a battle, because if you actually want to reap the rewards, that's how, you know, salvage ships are how you steal tech. It's how you take over buildings. It's how you eat ships to get the resources, etc. And even the tech out of them. So, for example, if someone attacks you and they have different technology than you do, you can get research points towards this technology that you have no other way of acquiring. And so that's kind of useful. So it's an aspect of the game that I hope to show more in the coming months. And now the tutorial stuff, while it still needs some polish, and obviously the voiceovers, now I can truly restart going back to gameplay mechanics rather than worrying about tutorials. The game's not hard to play, it's just there's a lot to it to a certain point. If you play an RTS, you can play this game. If you play the flight sim, you can play this. So, just for amusement value, I can click on the let's see, where is he? There he is. So if I click on him, I can go possess, and then I go back here, and guess what? I'm following my routes. Yeah, there's some other guys. I can see if I have any. I guess he doesn't have any guns other than his beams. I've changed my weapon tech. So one of the other things that actually changed in the game is if you're a salvage ship, it automatically creates weapon ticks for you. So if I come in here and I go to the weapon systems, see the Orion's still here, but the salvage beams are on the second tick on its own, which means when it goes to salvage ship, it's using the second weapon tick, so it isn't firing your main gun, just the salvage thing. So that it does automatically now. For that, that's okay. So that's why you see the single beam weapon. So, that was pretty much it. I mean, unless you want to sit here for a full run of tutorial 2, which is like an hour. That will be it for today, because I'm not trying to make super long videos anymore. Someone wants to watch them. And, so yeah. And we'll see each other next time, and there'll be a lot more interesting gameplay mechanics in the next one to try to make this, since they're finally done with the tutorials for the most part. Still polish that needs to be done, but yeah, we're kind of done with that. And technically, since those things are still there, if I go back to here, it should just simply return to its path. Right? Let's see, where is it? Maybe select self. There it is. So yeah. Since I didn't get rid of the nav points, it will just go right back to what it was doing. And if you ever want to clear the nav points, you just tell it to move somewhere. So if I told this guy to move over here,
Orders accepted.
all the nav points disappear. So. But that also means that a Warmaster or somebody else could actually tell players who are actually the first-person aspect of the game, hey, I need you guys to come over here. They'll all of a sudden see a nav point and go, oh, well, they want me to do this patrol route. So you can do it manually, where the other players can. And that's kind of the point there, too. So you can bring an entire fleet with you. The form on me command does work, which means if you have a fleet and you say, hey, guys, form on me, you can bring 20 ships with you and go to town, which is kind of useful, as I will imagine.
Yes.
So, alright, sirs. I'm gonna cut it here. Next time, I will hope to have more AI stuff to we'll show more of giant battles and such like that, because that's what I really want to start getting back to. I guess we didn't show that either. So I actually do want to show one small thing. So if I go new game, may or may not work, we'll find out. New campaign. So, here's the other little fun thing. When you go into a campaign, first off, that it works. Well, without rebooting the game, I'll also watch it crash on me. It will defaultly give you a pre-built corporation. You don't have to take it. You always change it. You always change the names and change the mottos. Each of these mottos do different things, meaning they, add different special signature check and gives you different bonuses. So this one gives you increase in factory ship construction. We've got to change the background for that. Yeah, we have to change the background. The other fun thing is where it says screen over here, where it says sim screen or nav screen. I know you've seen this before, but now when you actually enter the game, it will take you straight to that screen. So if you're not a first-person flight sim kind of guy, you can spend the entire time in the RTS nav screen. A number of AI players, it's always worked and stuff of that nature. That always works. But now, also the coloring. So if you want to change what your emissive color is, so I like currently purple, we can make it purple. We'll use these colors. You can also click here. Automatically selects a logo for your corporation. I'll select this one. Now hit done. Alright. And it's going to say, hey, you start. But notice we started in the nav screen. And also the load saves will start wherever you happen to leave off when it's saved. Find my building lot. I guess we have that over there too. Okay. So if you notice, hopefully, when I build these things,
Orders accepted.
it should have our brand new colors. Let's see what this looks like. This builds. I also standardized the coloring from the beams, so if it's red, it's pulling stuff out. If it's purple, it's putting it back in. White's the standard on building something.
Construction complete.
Let's see what has that. Okay. Blue's not quite as obvious there. So we'll build a warehouse. It's pretty obvious in the warehouse.
Orders received.
If you notice, we did start with like a over 1600, it seems.
City power low.
Alright. So this has the colors we chose. And it has the emissive color that we chose.
Building complete.
It was kind of randomized, but there you go. The idea is that we can easily see, based on the coloring, whose corporation is, etc. The hope is that one of the things we tend to add is just all those logos from before. If I go to the corporations screen, it'll show you your logo. The idea is we're going to start having logos over cities and over groups of ships and stuff like that, so you can much more easily at a distance say, oh, well, that's such and such corporation, or these are my guys, or everything else like that. So we're going to make this a lot easier to look through, to figure out who's who, that kind of thing, more than just coloring and such. In any case, I will now stop because I will keep going, because we actually have been putting a lot of things in there. It hasn't just been stuff. A lot more flow in, if you will. Now, if I look around, there should be other. Yeah, they're there. I wonder where they were. Now, this is going to go away. You should be able to just arbitrarily spy on the enemy like this. But yes, I'm going to spy on the enemy like this. If you notice, his colorings are green, and he's got a brown and a blue going on. But he's over here. He's building up his city. And there should be another one around here. There he is. And yes, this is something in the nav screen I need to fix. Because you should not be able to just arbitrarily spy on your enemies like this.
Hmm.
But they shouldn't be starting this close either. So if I go over here, I can notice the reptiles don't show up, but I can see them glowing in the distance building stuff, because they're really not that far away. He's about 70,000 feet, which is not that far. What was that, like, about 14 miles? Less than that, 15, I guess. Let's see, 12, I should say. Just off the top of my head. So yeah, so that's where all this is really changing. Is that once you get some of the other AI done, they're not gonna start anywhere near this close. They're gonna be much, much further away. You're not gonna be able to see them building the distance. Go, oh, that's where they are. Let's go get them. No, it's gonna be very good. Okay, well, I'll stop because I'll keep going. Still do like how the new bloom comes out. All right. I guess I will exit. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and one final thing. The soundtrack will be available for separate purchase. Hopefully in the next few days, probably next week, from Steam. So look for that you'll be able to buy the soundtrack to rank Warmaster separately. And it's about 51 minutes of music. It's actually very good by our wonderful composer, Chris Kavinsky. And look for that too. And well, have a good night all, and I'll see you next time.
Ta-ta, everyone.
Later.